Hello there. Welcome to my show, COVID-19 update by Heerak. It's January 16, 2021. And the police are getting nervous. All the defund police people in the Democratic Party are just excited and gleeful with joy that the police officers are so afraid. Why do you think the liberal media keeps playing this up? Because liberal media is defund police. They hate police officers. So they keep creating a sensation out of police officers, trying to scare them. The defund police. This is like the greatest story for defund police. They hate police officers. 2020 was a long year, but we remember what happened. Arabic music is great. I like Arabic music a lot. Today is International Hot and Spicy Food Day. As you know, I'm Korean, American, so I'm an American citizen. My national origin is South Korea. My culture is mostly American, but when I'm with my mom and dad, it's Korean. My mom doesn't speak English at all, so I only speak to her in Korean. I only write to her in Korean. There are a lot of Koreans who are like that. And, it's like that with immigrant communities. There are a lot of Arabic, you know, people, maybe mothers who are homemakers who may not speak English either. My mom was a homemaker. There may be Spanish women or Hispanic women from Latin America who doesn't speak English either. Today's International Hot and Spicy Food Day. There's a hot and spicy food in Korean culture. There's hot and spicy food in Latino culture. There's a hot and spicy food in Arabic culture. Oh yeah, there's some hot and spicy food. It's almost universal. Everywhere you go, you see like hot and spicy food somewhere. Although in Europe, I don't think there's that many hot and spicy food. Maybe like the world is against Europe because the Arabic culture has hot and spicy food. Latino culture has hot and spicy food. Asian culture has a lot of hot and spicy food, but European culture food is kind of bland. you know, I don't know. I never thought about it that way before, but I think that's true. Arabic music is really nice. We're talking about thousands of years of culture here, Arabic culture. Yeah. But if you haven't tried kimchi, you should try kimchi. Kimchi is a great food item. You could eat kimchi with anything. Rice, sandwich. You could have a kimchi burger, with a hamburger. It's like chili burger, but it'd be like kimchi burger. So try it, yeah. Hi, police officers. Heerak Christian Kim. That's who I am. I like police officers. I always oppose defund police. I always tweeted out against defund police. All you police officers in Arlington County, police officers in Fairfax County, police officers in the city of Alexandria, police officers in Falls Church, police officers in Washington, D.C., police officers in Montgomery County, Maryland, police officers in Prince George County, Maryland. You understand how much I care about you, right? you know, uh, Unfortunately for you, defund police people are in power or coming into power. Yeah, it's tragedy for police officers. It's gonna be like years of hell for police officers with defund police people having all that power. You can listen to Arabic music and get some comfort from it. Good music. As you know, I was the vice president of graduate student government. You can Google my name, Heerak Christian Kim, Georgetown University. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy that I was the vice president of graduate student government. I served from May 2019 to May 2020 in 1 year of wonderful term of service. Very exciting. Spice it up with life. It's like kimchi year. Throw some kimchi into my vice president term. You know what I mean? I was the only Korean American in the graduate student government executive board. I was the vice president. And I don't think we even had any other Asians. There was a Chinese American in the executive board, and she quit. Even before academic year started, so I was like the only, Asian executive board member in graduate student government, GradGov, at Georgetown University. For our 1 year term, all of us served 1 year term from May 2019 to May 2020. Um, yeah, I'm a leader of non-Koreans. Wherever I go, I generally lead, regardless of what race people are. But yeah, sometimes, I don't even notice, to be honest with you, that I was the only Asian American in the executive board. We had one girl from Poland. She's actually a citizen of Poland. We have one girl who's Russian immigrant. I think she was born in America or maybe born in Russia. But her father and mother are like living in Fairfax County. And she's really nice. I like her. She's pretty, amazingly pretty. And she went to VCU for bachelor's after going to Nova, Northern Northern Virginia Community College for 2 years, and then VCU, and then she came to Georgetown for 1 year master's degree in the hopes of going to dental school. And so she's Russian, so we have one Polish, one Russian. Well, she's American now, but her mother, actually her mother actually only speaks Russian. Because I met her, she's really nice. Her father speaks Korean, in English. Really nice mother and father. I like that. So we had one Polish, we had one Russian, American. Polish is Polish. She's not American citizen, she's Polish. Me, who's Korean American, and there were like one American, two American, and then we had one who's African. He's from Ghana, and he's African American because his family immigrated from Ghana, but he's American, but he immigrated. He was born in Africa. So we had one African American, but African immigrant from Africa. Um, yeah, we had a white Anglo gringo, as Latinos would call them. We had one, two, three gringos. Yeah, I guess we had like three gringos. Was it four gringos? Yeah, I was the only Asian in the graduate student government. So I was, representing all of Asian Americans at Georgetown University in graduate student executive board. As the only Asian in the executive board. Um, Habibi means my friend, my love. Habibi. Yeah, so yes, I was the only Asian in the graduate student government executive board as the vice president. So I was holding down the fort, representing Asian American interests in the graduate student government at Georgetown University. Chinese people from China, Korean people from Korea, Japanese people from Japan, Indians from India, Pakistani from Pakistan, you know, Malaysians from Malaysia, Filipinos from Philippines, you know, Indonesians from Indonesia, Vietnamese from Vietnam. Yeah, I was representing all of these Asians at Georgetown University as the vice president of graduate student government, GradGov. There's always conflict between different races and different ethnic groups. It's part of life. I'm a historian. I know that there's conflict between ethnic groups and races. So you gotta, you expect that to happen. Sometimes out of jealousy, but sometimes out of conflict. Different races have conflict. You saw George Floyd protest, right? George Floyd protest, black race against white race. You have conflicts like that. But sometimes you have conflict between like black people with Asian people, black people with Latino people with white people. You have different permutations of conflict. That's just what the world is like. There's conflict. So I represented all the Asians at Georgetown University. So I understand like people who hated like other Asians sometimes took it out on me. I understand that. I understand human dynamics because I'm a social scientist, I'm a historian, and people use whatever pretext to like vent their hatred of Asians, for example. The United States had a war with North Korea. United States had a war with Vietnam. So there's a lot of hatred of Asians still, in certain areas. And, I'm happy to, you know, uh, be scapegoated under different pretexts. I understand what people do. Obviously, important thing is to fight and survive and triumph. And obviously, you got to be immunocompetent to do that. So COVID-19, if you're immunocompetent, you probably will not get infected, right? Unless you constantly expose yourself to COVID. In the same way, if you're immunocompetent, you can ward off infections, attacks by the virus, like antigen. So people will attack you. If you're immunocompetent, you can block it off, you know. But if you're not immunocompetent, you can't block it off. You see what I'm saying? So immunocompetent in social setting, in ethnic conflict, with George Floyd protest, black on white hatred, or white on black hatred. If you're immunocompetent, you can block these things off. If you're not immunocompetent, you cannot block things off. It's like that in any conflict, right? So COVID-19 teaches us a lot about immunocompetency, right? Because if you're not immunocompetent, you'll get infected and die. A lot of people are dying, like 4,000 Americans are dying every day. And ethnic conflict is like that too. If you're not immunocompetent, then in ethnic and racial conflicts, you're gonna die off. You're gonna disappear. You're gonna die. You're gonna lose. You're gonna be ostracized or ousted from the scene. Because you're not immunocompetent. So there's a certain type of social immunocompetence that you have to survive in society that's multicultural. Um, so if you live in an environment where there's no COVID-19, you don't have to be immunocompetent. against COVID-19 because it doesn't exist. But if it exists, you better be immunocompetent, So it's about context. What context are you living in, right? I mean, in Korea, everybody eats kimchi. Everybody in every house is eating kimchi every day because it's Korea, right? In Korea, you don't have to be immunocompetent against other races to survive because there's no racial conflict. You see what I'm saying? But in the American context, you have to be immunocompetent. So, you know, that's how it is. Asians understand what I'm saying, you know. Can I get a five from the Asians out there? you know? Uh, yeah. Um, yeah. You know, a lot of white people don't think that they're racist against Asians. A lot of Asians think that white people are racist against them. So who's right? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a lot of black people think white people are racist against them. A lot of white people don't think that they're being racist against blacks. You see what I'm saying? Somebody's right and somebody's wrong, right? But it's the perception. There's a perception. Like you go to Fairfax County, there's a lot of Asians, Vietnamese, Koreans, Chinese, Pakistanis, Indians, they have a perception on how whites treat Asians. They have that. And the white people say, well, they're being too sensitive. So there's a conflict in Fairfax County among Asians and whites. That does exist. But yeah, Fairfax County has a lot of Asians. So you're going to see that kind of conflict playing itself out in Fairfax County. Um, yeah, but today is hot and spicy day. And there are more people in the world who love hot and spicy food and eat it every day than not. Like Mexicans, they eat hot and spicy food. You know what I'm saying? um, I thought I'll share photos of my lovely co-workers, people who I work together with. Uh, there's some amazing ones. Susanna Miller. Um, I love to marry that girl. She's pretty. We look cute as a couple. Like if we were a couple, we would look really cute together. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Susanna Miller is the one right underneath this video. She's a professor. Get this, she's a professor at the best university in Scotland, University of Edinburgh. And she's like 25 or 26. She did her bachelor's, master's, and PhD in record time at Cambridge University. She's pretty and smart, and she's the nicest person in the world. Look how pretty she is. I mean, like, she and I would like make such a cute couple. You know what I'm saying? I was looking forward to seeing her in Germany in Wuppertal because she's the chair of the animals in the Bible section. So I was all set to go to like Wuppertal where 2020 annual conference of European Association of Biblical Studies is. And I was like hoping to like ask her out and see, where we might go. But because of COVID-19, things were canceled, obviously. So yeah, it's a little depressing, but I don't know, maybe it wasn't God's will that I marry Susanna. I don't know. I mean, she's so pretty. She's like the kind of girl that I think would be perfect for me for marriage. I mean, look how pretty she is. That's right. I'm focusing on her beauty, but that's the most important thing. She's really pretty. You know what I'm saying? She has fair skin. The poets write about. She has beautiful auburn, reddish hair, reddish blonde hair. She has beautiful, like bluish eyes. She has a nice smile. Look at that smile. And so like she'd be like perfect for me. You know what I mean? As a wife. So when I think about like a woman who could be like a perfect wife, Susanna Miller is like definitely on the top 5. Um, you know, and we both like, we match. You know what I'm saying? We kind of match. It's like Shrek with the beautiful version of Fiona, you know? I hate that movie. Well, no, actually, I love that movie. But the part that I hate about that was when Shrek married a fat and ugly Fiona. And I'm like, what the heck? What the heck? That's like discrimination against fat people. Like they expect fat people to just marry fat people. Hey, just because I'm fat, I'm kind of Shrek-esque, I'm like Shrek, doesn't mean I have to marry somebody who's like me, you like fat. You know what I'm saying? I think that expectation in society that fat people should marry fat people is discriminatory. Yes, I wish I were thinner. I don't know, I guess, I mean, I'm happy being me, but I guess I should, I should diet. I love food too much. I can't diet because I love food. But anyway, well, what can you do? And women seem to like me being, even though I'm fat. So I don't really have that much incentive because, you know, people lose weight for the woman. Guys lose weight for the woman, right? I mean, but anyway, so she is like Princess Fiona, but the beautiful one. So throughout the movie, I know it's like an animated children's movie. I was like hoping and hoping that Shrek will end up with the beautiful Fiona, because she was really pretty in the movie. And then when he ended up with an ugly Fiona, I was like so upset. I'm like, man, that sucks. That really sucks, You know, for me, it was a very sad ending. You know what I mean? I wanted Shrek to marry the beautiful Fiona. You know, I mean, the idea that fat people should end up with fat people, that's just wrong. That's just discrimination. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know a lot of fat people who married thin people, like Fred Flintstone. He's fat, but he married Wilma. Barney, Barney is fat, but Barney married what's her name? And she's really thin. See, that's like ideal for me. I like that. When I was at Cambridge University, I went to Churchill College Cambridge party with a bunch of my friends, and they every college at Cambridge generally has parties on Friday nights. So I was like dancing away, and it was a formal hall, so I was wearing a tie and everything. But it was like I guess like a dress up kind of a party, costume party. And there was this one girl who came in, and she dressed up like Bam Bam. Do you know Bam Bam? The older Bam Bam, like the teenager Bam Bam, like 18-year-old Bam Bam. Fred Flintstone and Wilma's daughter was a baby but grew up and became pretty. So she dressed up in that Bam Bam outfit, like like it was like a kind of like a bikini, right? There's like furry part on the top, furry part on the bottom, and like her belly showing, smooth white skin, and all of her body parts holding together really tightly because she was like 19. Um, so like she was dancing in the middle of the floor because she's like one of the how women are, beautiful women always dance in the middle. So I'm like, and she was dancing with like her best friend and several other friends. Obviously she's the most pretty woman in the floor, so I'm gonna go and dance with her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, life is too short not to dance with beautiful women. So I went to the dance floor. I like probably wobbled, because I'm like fat. I probably wobbled to the dance floor. I don't know how I look to other people, like wobbling to the dance floor toward like this beautiful Fiona. Well, she didn't have red hair. She was blonde hair and blue eyes, clear blue eyes. She's really beautiful. She's taller than me. And I went to her and I started talking to her. And actually I'd met her in the economics department library earlier that day. I just introduced myself. I said, hello, my name is Heerak. And then she introduced herself, and we just chatted like for a minute earlier that day. So I hadn't met her before. And then, I saw her on the floor, but, this time she only had that Fred Flintstone, Wilma Flintstone, Bam Bam is their daughter, Bam Bam outfit, which is like, you have to see the cartoons. But, Bam Bam, 18-year-old Bam Bam, not a baby Bam Bam. And so she had really nice milky skin, kind of like the color of Susanna's, skin color. And I kid you not, she was the most pretty girl in the floor, in the whole room. So obviously I'm gonna go walk up to her, waddle through the whole dance floor to the middle. But I'm focused on the prize, who cares what people think, I just want to dance with her, So I don't think about what other people think. So I just go up to her and I say, you look really nice, no, I didn't say that. I think I said, I really like your outfit, I think that's what I said. I said, I really like your outfit. And she looked at me and I looked at her. I looked straight into her eyes. And, she was blinking, blink, blink, blink. I counted like 3 blinks. And then, and then I started dancing with her. And she felt so good. Oh, her skin felt so soft. Because she didn't really have anything, she had like the bikini top and bikini bottom that was kind of made of furry material, like Bam Bam, like Wilma Flintstone. So I had my arm around her, like their waist and back. And I might have had like maybe 1 glass too wine too much in the dinner. So my head was kind of sliding down. When you're dancing, sometimes it slides down. And I guess she didn't mind, I mean, I guess it's a good sign, when you have one hand on her butt and she's not really, pushing it away. It's a good sign. She has a very shapely figure. And then, like her friend is trying to like take her away from me. And I'm like, what's wrong with these women? That happens sometimes, like, you go to the hottest woman and then the not so hottest woman, next to her, like her, sidekick, like her, Tonto or, Robin or, the sidekick wants to take the girl away. And I'm like, man, I heard that song. If you want to be my lover, gotta get with my friend. The Spice Girls song. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna be dealt a bad card because the girl's trying to pull her away. She's probably gonna go away. So I had to like save the situation. So I kind of moved in closer to her ear. And the music was loud. I don't know how girls communicate in that kind of noise setting, I mean, they seem to communicate without any problems, like with their looks and stuff like that, It's a girl thing, I guess, But, I had to say something to her. So, I moved in close to her ear, beautiful soft ear. My lips were slightly touching it. And I said, you're so much prettier than your best friend. I don't know why I said that, but I mean, it was the honest truth. I mean, obviously, if her best friend was pretty, I would have gone and danced with her. So I mean, it was no lie. So I said, "You're so much prettier than your best friend," and I guess she liked that. So she didn't go with her best friend. She stayed with me. It was a very nice evening. Yeah, because once she decides to not join back with her best friend, she's kind of yours. You know what I mean? It's like when her best friend's trying to pull her away, if she goes with her, then that's the end. Most of the time. So I mean, she chose me over her best friend, which is I don't know. I find it like kind of flattering, to I guess on one level. Yeah, this was at Churchill College in Cambridge. And this girl in the middle, she's Belgian. I think she's nobility or has royal blood. She's Belgian, and she's a professor of Hebrew and Jewish studies at the Catholic University of Leuven. Leuven. She's Catholic. She's pretty. Look how pretty she is. And so that was in European Association for Biblical Studies a few years back in Estonia. And she was the prettiest girl at that time. Obviously, Susanna was like only in college at that time, college or yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously I was gonna ask her out to dinner and yeah, that's what I mean, lunch, you know. So we had a nice time, you know. She's pretty. So she's like a co-worker, obviously. The two experts of Jewish studies there. Above Susanna is a kind of like a co-worker, you know, we went to Juhan, Jesuit University Humanities Action Network together. So there's Tara Prabhu. She's amazingly smart girl. She just graduated this year with a bachelor's of science, and she's like a pre-med. So yeah, she's amazingly smart. So she graduated with a bachelor's from Georgetown. So she presented her paper, research paper, at Jesuit University Humanities Action Network, Juhan, and I presented my paper, research on juvenile diabetes, um, in inner city neighborhoods, African American neighborhoods. You know, because I care about African Americans, so you know, I do a lot of research in that area. So, so I presented my paper on that. So, so she and I, you know, we grabbed lunch together, and Jack the Bulldog kind of was there, so we took a photo together with Jack the Bulldog. And I guess that building you see is like Healy Hall, which is like you know, that's like the main building at Georgetown University. On the left side, you see Christy. Uh, she you know, she was a graduate student government officer, GradGov, director of alumni relations. So she and I, we hit it off really well. She seemed to like me for some reason. I don't know why, but she liked me. So we had a lot of fun. You know, you see like us joking around and playing around at the boat there and during Grand Cup boat cruise, and like we, you know, like the close face shot that was in the holiday party. So we, you know, it was a nice you know, nice time. I really enjoyed you know, her, you know, I should call her up and meet up with her sometime. I mean, the thing is, there's COVID-19, so that's the problem, you know, but, you know, I miss Christy, you know. Hi, Christy. Um, but she has a very interesting life. Yeah, I think some of it is classified. So I don't think she told us anything classified, but, you know, as you know, Georgetown University has a lot of people who work for the federal government agencies. You know, I know a lot of people, you know, I was the vice president of graduate student government. I knew a lot of people who work for Homeland Security, National Security Council, the Pentagon, you know, FBI, CIA, NSA, DEA, you know, like all these people do their studies at Georgetown. Masters in Security Studies has 500 master's students, you know, and a lot of them are like federal agents doing part-time master's degree while they're working full-time. So yeah, I was the vice president of all the graduate students. So, you know, you can imagine how that's like. Um, yeah, but yeah, in the last 24 hours, we have 3,450 COVID-19 deaths. I mean, today is Saturday, and they're recording that many COVID-19 deaths. So you can imagine um, how things are, right? I mean, you know, you can imagine how bad things are in America when you have all these people um, having COVID-19 cases and death, you know, in an environment like now, you know? So, yeah, it's no joke. 395,000. I should be dancing, I guess. I mean, geez, it's a sad thing, but the music is so good. It's the music. It's the music. I was close with a lot of the Arabic people. Some of them are like royalty from Arabic countries. You know, I know a lot of people in this area, you know. I've helped a lot of people as the vice president of the Arlington government. You just Google my name and watch my exciting life, James Bond-esque life. I actually live the James Bond life, you know. I don't know. I like to say, you know. But just Google my name, how exciting my life is. Um, yeah. So, you know, 23,727,467 people have got infected. That's less than 10% of America. Yeah, so we're never going to develop herd immunity. It's never going to happen. COVID-19 is killing a lot of people, but not killing enough. You know, like during the Black Plague, 10,000 people died per day in one city. 10,000 people. You know, unless 10,000 people are dying in like every city, you're not going to have herd immunity develop. It's not going to happen. Obviously, you're going to have 2 years of millions of deaths before herd immunity kicks in, but you have to have like 10,000 people dying in every city for like herd immunity to work. It's not going to happen. Yeah. Top 5 cases in Africa. South Africa is number 1 with 36,851. 3% death rate. South Africa is headed to death. That's because of the COVID mutant. COVID mutants like infecting and killing a lot of people in Africa. South Africa. Fortunately for other African countries, it hasn't arrived yet. Morocco, or you may hear some Arabic music in Morocco. I like Arabic music. That's good stuff. Morocco is number 2 in terms of cases, with 7,911 deaths. Tunisia is number 3 with 5,616 deaths. Egypt is number 4 with 8,527 deaths. 5% death rate. When you have higher percentage of death rate, you have a higher number of deaths. Ethiopia in the house, number 5. Ethiopia is number 5. 29 deaths. Ethiopia is in trouble. You know, once you pass 1,000 deaths, downhill from there. You know, so if you're Ethiopian, you should start worrying. You know, um, yeah. So 3 articles on Virginia. Virginia is in serious trouble right now. Hopefully, colleges don't open campus because if they do, we're gonna head to a massive death. We may even have 1 million deaths if all the colleges open campuses. Yeah, we're looking at a lot of potential deaths. Even if colleges don't open, we're gonna have over 60,000 deaths. That's like guaranteed in 2006, 2021. If colleges open their campus, if schools open, we may have over 1 million deaths in Virginia by New Year's Eve, 2021. Yeah, we're looking at a serious problem right now. So the first article says COVID cases in Virginia soar past 6,700 new cases, setting a single day record by Miss Marino, Richmond Times Dispatch. I guess the F is missing there. Yeah, it's like COVID-19 is using the F word. That's what the F is there. You know, F has been taken away by COVID. COVID is using it everywhere. For the second Saturday in a row, Virginia has set a single day record with 6,757 newly reported cases. Nice music. Hey, you gotta enjoy stuff while COVID is killing people. You know, you may die next week, you may die next month. You gotta enjoy what you can, like great music. Nice. Um, Virginia has recorded nearly 80,000 cases. The entire month, oh, I'm missing some parts of the sentence. The same day last month saw 3,931 cases. So it has doubled. It has already doubled. Remember, I predicted it was triple, right? So we're headed there. It's double. It's going to triple soon. So my predictions are coming true. In the first 2 weeks of 2021, Virginia has recorded nearly 80,000 cases. The entire month of December had 111,749, with the state averaging more than 5,000 cases a day in a 7-day period. Virginia could surpass that in less than 1 week. Virginia is headed to massive death in 2021. As I said, if colleges open and campuses open, we can look at over 1 million deaths. That's what we're looking at. Virginia could surpass that in less than a week. Since last Friday, the state has had almost 41,500 new COVID-19 cases. The week before that was 38,333. About 4,500 people with COVID began having symptoms the days after Christmas. More than 4,500 start noticing symptoms after New Year. Virginia is headed to death. So at least the music is good. You will die with a smile on your face listening to this cool music. Why do you people love music? Because it makes the quality of life that much better. You may die from COVID, but at least you can enjoy good music on this show. That's one of the reasons you probably watch this show before the music. I bring you multiculturalism in the form of diverse music in this show, right? And you love it. Admit it, you love it. Give me five a multicultural music in my show. Second article, coronavirus update. Numbers jump for Saturday report over 6,700 new cases and 50 deaths reported. ABC 8 News. And the article is saying Virginia is reporting a huge spike in the number of new cases and deaths. Virginia is headed to death. Oh no! Enjoy the music because you may die. Habibi. Yeah, you may die, so enjoy the music. I mean, we have 4,000 people dying every day in America right now. It's going to go to 10,000 people dying every day. Someone you know will definitely die in Virginia's 8th district. Someone you know will definitely die without a doubt in 2021. Maybe your husband, maybe your daughter, maybe your mother. Somebody's going to die that you know in Virginia's 8th district. Somebody you know personally. That's guaranteed. If school's open, hey, maybe more than one person you know will die. Maybe your mother and your child will die. And COVID-19 is going to kill every day of the 365 days a year. Every day. Do you remember how people were dying in the summer? 1,000 people were dying every day in the summer. We may have 5,000 people dying every day in the summer in the United States in 2021, every day. So enjoy this music because, hey, you're heading toward death. There's no doubt about it. Obviously, I created this show to save you and your child from COVID-19 death. I mean, there is a way to survive, but nothing is guaranteed. That's just life. Death is what makes you and me human, right? That doesn't die. Let's continue reading. The total number of Virginians who have lost their lives to COVID-19 is 5,706. 5,016 confirmed COVID deaths and 690 probable. What does that mean? Did they not do an autopsy on these people or draw blood? What does that mean? There's 690 probable deaths. What does that mean? What do you mean probable death? What does that mean? They don't know? Yeah, see, that should worry you. I mean, there's probable deaths that health experts don't even know. With all that modern science, they don't know that they died of COVID. That should worry you. Currently, there are 429,391 COVID-19 cases in the state. A total of 2,135 outbreaks have contributed to 51,590 COVID-19 cases in the state. It's going to get far worse because every school that opens will have an outbreak. Somewhere, more than one. Yeah, Virginia is headed to death. There's no doubt about it. Virginia is headed to massive death. If schools close, we're going to have about 100,000 die. If schools open, we'll have like 1 million people die. That's what we're looking at for year 2021. People are going to die every day of the 365 days a year. Every day. Every day of 365 days a year, dozens of Virginians will die. That's guaranteed for 365 days of year. Absolutely guaranteed. The question is, will you die? The question is, will your child die? Will your husband die? Will your mother die? That's the question. People are going to die. That's guaranteed. The question is it your mother? Is it your child? Is it your husband? That's the question. We're living in COVID-19 global pandemic. We're not living in normal conditions, right? Sooner you accept that fact, higher chance you're going to have to survive COVID-19. You know, it's just, that's the reality. So if you're 18, get married because you may die when you're 20. Yeah, I'm putting weight around. Yeah. We're living in an age when college degree is absolutely useless. COVID-19 can continue for the next 10 years. Your college degree is absolutely useless right now. Currently, there are 429,391 COVID-19 cases in the state. Yeah. The most useless degree right now is an MBA. All the businesses are going bankrupt. It's like that's a waste of money. Third article. Second Maryland child dies from COVID-19, MDH data shows. Tyler Rivers, WBAL-TV. A second child, younger than 10, has died from coronavirus, according to Maryland Department of Health. Data released Saturday. Do you have a child younger than 10? Well, your child may die. If 2 children in Maryland who are under 10 can die, then 2 children in Virginia under 10 can die. If 2 children under 10 can die, then 10 children under 10 can die. You see what I'm saying? I'm predicting that there will be thousands of children who will die from COVID-19 before June. Yeah, I mean, flu season is getting started. I mean, it started, it's kind of getting more intense. And that's why we have 4,000 people dying every day. Soon that's going to become 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. We're going to have more and more children die. Your child may die. Yeah. You need to understand what's going on. Why do you think I worked for 3 months to close down Arlington Public Schools, Alexandria City Public Schools, Falls Church City Public Schools, Fairfax County Public Schools? I worked 3 months to close them down in the summer. Why? Why? Because I know your children are going to die if the schools don't close. You got to look at the long term. Long term. Yeah. Even if you did not die of COVID yet, your immune system is being worn down by COVID so that it can infect you. You gotta understand what's going on. COVID is trying to find a way into your immune system and into your body. So even if you don't have COVID now, COVID-19 is trying to outsmart your immune system right now. It's dictating to outsmart your immune system. Eventually, it's going to get through to a lot of people. Yeah, that's what you're looking at. Think of COVID-19 as an intelligent life form. It is trying to find a way into your body. Yeah, and eventually it will, if you have enough exposure. So a second child younger than 10 has died from the coronavirus, according to Maryland Department of Health data released Saturday. No other details were immediately released. The first coronavirus-related death of a child in Maryland was reported in December when 1-year-old child boy died. There were 3,292 new coronavirus cases and 47 more deaths reported Saturday. So 47 deaths in Maryland, 50 deaths in Virginia. So we have like 100 deaths in this area, not counting Washington, D.C. There were 3,292 new coronavirus cases and 47 more deaths reported Saturday, which marks the 74th straight day of new cases at or above 1,000. That's going to continue throughout the summer. This summer is going to be summer of hell, because a lot of people are going to die. Don't be surprised if 5,000 or more die every day in the summer in America. Don't be surprised. Yeah, COVID-19 will kill every day of 365 days a year. That's what it did in 2020. That's what it will do in 2021. Thousands of Americans will die every day in the summer. Thousands. Because in 2020, like 1,000 died every day. In 2021, we're going to have thousands, like 5,000 die every day in the summer. That's like guaranteed. Guaranteed. That's like the Fauci, that's guaranteed. There's absolutely no doubt thousands of Americans will die every day in the summer. June, July, August. There's zero doubt that thousands of Americans will die in the summer every day. There's zero doubt. That's sad. You know, obviously that's why I had this show. I'm trying to help you survive COVID. I'm trying to help your children survive COVID. This is what I know. And I am almost always right. Because I'm the Leonardo da Vinci of 21st century, I'm almost always right. It's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because I know what's going to happen. It's a curse because I know what it's going to happen. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, nice. Oh, oh, oh. As I said, you may die from COVID, your children might die from COVID, but at least you have your music now before you die. Gotta enjoy the little things in life when you have it. It's true, your child may be taken away from you by COVID, right? Gotta enjoy every moment with your child. The 2 year, 1 year olds are dying, right? A lot of children are dying and will die. How would you feel when your child dies? You should think about this and come to terms with this because that could happen to you. Um, the highest cluster of cases remains in the Washington, D.C. suburbs. Oh, that's great. Arlington, Alexandria are Washington, D.C. suburbs, basically, right? Yeah, that's where the biggest clusters are in Maryland. In that case, it's Montgomery County, right? Prince George's and Montgomery County. If you live in Prince George, Prince George County, be prepared to bury your dead child. Yeah, because COVID-19 is going to kill every day of 365 days a year in 2021. Every day, COVID-19 will kill someone in Maryland. And Montgomery County and Prince George County will have the largest number of deaths, largest number of children dying. So if you have a child, spend more time with your child because your child may die of COVID. Especially if your child goes to a school, yeah, then chances of death is very high. So Prince George County has 62,491 cases, which is the highest. And Montgomery County has 53,833, second highest. So if you live in Prince George County, you're looking at death after death after death. Yeah, it's a tragedy that is unfolding right in your neighborhood in Prince George County. But you have now to spend the now with your children because you may not have that anymore in a couple of months. Enjoy the music. You know, God loves us because He gives us music like this. Even in times of death, we can listen to this kind of wonderful music, right? You may die from COVID, but you could enjoy this music, you know? Your child may die from COVID, but at least you have now to spend with your child. To spend more time with your child, because you may not have that chance in a couple of months. Life belongs to the Lord. You cannot control um, your child's life. If your child goes to school every day, every day your child can get COVID and die. This is why I'm trying to close down schools. Because God helps those who help themselves. But if you're sending your child to school every day, you're like asking for your child to die from COVID. You know? Yeah, I'm trying to help you here. I hope that you will be well and that your children will be well. And I'll bring you more helpful information about COVID tomorrow. This is a daily show. Make sure you tune in tomorrow and catch up on what's happening. Because you need to know what's going on in order to survive COVID, right? So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And don't believe in the liberal media. They lie. They lie about how vaccine will save everybody. That's a lie. The vaccine will not save everybody. Um, oh man, I love this music. This is so good. Arabic music is so good. Oh, I miss like listening to Arabic music in Palestine. Oh, yeah, that's one of the things I really enjoyed when I was in Israel. Listen to like Arabic music in Palestinian areas like Jericho and Hebron and Bethlehem, Ramallah, Nablus. Oh, I enjoy those areas. Food is good, people are nice. Palestinian people are really nice people. I really like Palestinian people. A lot of them are Christians. Like in Bethlehem, 50% of Palestinians are Christians. So a lot of Christians among Palestinians. I love this music. When you like this music, it's good music, good stuff. I hope that you'll be well and that your children will be well. And I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye.